all can answer. What do you consider a healthy relationship or marriage to you? Please, you're saying in sync, and in
Yes,
sync in what way?
being in sync, etc. Because it can be a broad phrase, but I personally think that if you're not in a sync, that what marriage is not worth anything. It really isn't with your partner. But believe it specifically, it's understanding each other and understanding that it's more than just okay. You have to do this part, and then we have to do this portion of the relationship. But more, it's rather, it's it's what one would say that is being a team. It's having that dynamic of okay, that we are going to do this together because you know people can always talk about that 50-50 or all these things, but really in terms of being in sync, it is that 50-50. What's not is more like it's certain things that we have to do, etc. And that's fine. That's the dynamic of each relationship. But what is fundamental is understanding each other, being one in terms of how people are, how to understand them in a way that no one else understands them, having that trust.
Yeah, Steve, can I chime in there? Because pretty much you answered it all, but I want to put in a more specific way the word underline here, understanding you said, but it start with goal. If you have goals, because if you want to marry somebody, probably the first thing to look into goals. Are your goals aligned? And that comes in with understanding, communication, respect, and all the other things. Because communication is one of the most difficult keys in any group, in any institution, in any organization, or two people, or any relationship, because it's a challenge. Communication, if you look at all the industries or organizations, they have communication issues every day in no matter what they do. Technology, everything. Communication is an underlying issue. So before getting into marriage, or what is a successful marriage or happy marriage, starts with having the same goals. Because if you have the same goals, you people gonna pursue. It's not about money, but if someone loves you, cares about you, money don't come first. Because with a common dream, as a team, coming together, pursuing a dream as couples, it's going to drive. It's a drive, a motivation to make you to become successful. And that's where communication come and understanding. Because you could communicate, we could talk, but if we don't understand each other, or we are on a different level, we'll never see each other eye to eye. So pretty much you said it there. It's about common goal, which is love, which is underlined. Because if I don't love the person and I tie the knot, man, it's gonna be up. It's not gonna last long. The bottom line is liking the person, having common goals, and then understanding, able to communicate. Because communication is tough. It's timing and all that stuff. Approach, you know.
And I do
You can
have, I'm sorry, Dan. So what if you guys don't have the same goals? What if your goal is something completely different? Like, say, what if this person wants to be a famous dancer, and this person right here wants to start a construction business? But is it okay to have two separate goals, but yet you can come in the middle and make sure that, hey, even though your goals is to be a professional dancer and your goal is to be a construction business person, I'm not going to interfere with your goal and you're not going to interfere with our goal, but we're going to come in together as a team to make sure that you reach your goal and that person reached their goal. Can they still come together as a team?
absolutely, absolutely. That's what marriage is about. It's about sacrifice. Because once it's a venture, it's a road, a street. If you want to get on the road and drive on the road, you have to get off the other road. Being a single bachelor, whatever you're doing, it's a road you're gonna be on, and it's a two road you coming to meet. Sacrifices has to be made. If we don't sacrifice in a relationship, it's not gonna work because it's impossible to have two people like the same thing, want to watch the same thing on TV, have the same taste. You know, these are the things we have to sacrifice because that's where the understanding come. If I watch football all the time in my house, my wife don't like football. Man, I have to change something. I have to find out what she likes, try to watch with her, have some interest and develop a key interest because I will learn. She will teach me. I will teach her, she will teach me. I cannot just hold the remote, my wife talking to me, I want to watch football. That's you are married now. You in a relationship. You have to sacrifice. Not all the time football, hanging with your friends all the time. It's a road that we have to make adjustment. That's what you're saying. By supporting one's goal, it takes a lot of sacrifice. And those are things we need to learn.
Thank you, Dan.